What up, guys? Coach Jimmy here. Coach Bam Bam there. And Coach Taylor there. Notice I changed that from Coach Taylor. I meant from Miss Taylor to Coach Taylor. Because she is now officially one of our coaches. She is our ladies coach. We have a women's only class. And she has taken that over.
I sure have. I started it.
Nice. How's that feeling, by the way?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided. It felt good the first class, and then we're kind of getting a slow start, but I kind of expected it. Women are a little bit more timid. It takes a little bit more to get some traction, and all of my ladies that are currently just in our regular classes are out on vacation, or they're moving, or they've just got some other things going on right now. But I think once we get our core group back in here, probably next week, then I think it'll start picking up and it'll start feeling better.
I gotcha. I know that one of the hardest things about coaching for me when I started was believing in the stuff that I do. Like, I know, like, hey, this works for me. Is it going to work for somebody else? Or am I going to be able to teach someone what I do? And, like, getting that across, like, this is what I do. And that was one of the hardest things for me. Are you experiencing that right now at all? Or
Well, mine's more like, I don't know what I do. I don't know what I'm supposed to teach. Because I guess for me, for the longest time, it was just defense, learning how to get up, how to stay on top, that kind of thing. And a lot of it was just wrestling, just getting up. And I just started finding success with things where it's like, oh, that works. Like, oh, but now it's like, I don't know. Can I teach that? Am I good enough to coach that? Like, what? So,
well, just what you said, defense, some of the defensive skills that you've picked up and techniques you learn in the wrestling, that'd be a good place to start. Like, that way they can protect themselves.
Well, that I started with the positions, the around the world stuff. So starting from knee cutter pass, going around the body to mount. We've only made it about halfway through that. And then my plan was to start working either from their back, learning triangle, arm bar type stuff, more self-defense oriented, because that's what women are interested in. And then go to getting up, or maybe vice versa. I'm still figuring things out.
I noticed as a grappler, as a coach, like, if you're, it froze.
Okay, I'll jump in. I kind of remember what you were saying because I was going to mention something. I've noticed it the past month, talking about having confidence in what you're teaching, and they ask a question about doing it a different way maybe. I know I've experienced it, just noticed it really this past month, where they're asked a question, well, what if you do it this way? And I found myself, like, you know what? I cannot honestly tell you that that's wrong. Like, that's not wrong, what you're doing. Let me tell you why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. And then you can try both ways. The way you just showed me, asking me a question, yeah, I can't tell you that looks good to me. Here's why I do it the way I showed you. And let them play with it a little bit. Because you're saying, it goes back to what we talked about before, like, your jiu-jitsu might not be the same as something that I would do or the same as something that Taylor would do. So you're not going to tell them that that's wrong, but you'll explain to them why you do something the way you do, because you don't want to end up on bottom, like you were saying, of someone that outweighs you by 150 pounds.
Right.
And honestly, dude, I don't know what happened to the stream just now. It shut down, so I had to actually restart it, and it says starting stream, but it hasn't come back up. So maybe it's the internet. Maybe
So are we still recording, though?
Yeah, the recording's fine. My volume for that short clip is probably only picking up on this mic over here. But for whatever reason, it froze, and my mic quit working. I noticed a light come on, and it stopped picking up. So sorry about that, guys. Anyway, some of that will probably be edited out when we post. Some of it will be...
if that mic picked it up, you might be able to up the volume of it.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, because you just reiterated what we were talking about anyway. So, it doesn't really matter. It says it's restarting now, the live stream. I have no idea.
Well, we've had a lot of technical difficulties the past hour trying to get this set up.
Oh my God. Like this setup is awesome, but learning it and figuring it out and doing the certain different things, I just destroyed the stream audio. And I've been doing all of the research, all of the stuff myself. Like I have equipment here that you would see in a like very, very professional setting, like, and I'm having to learn how to use it and do it myself. I'm trying to maintain my track of thought, trying to switch to cameras, trying to make sure that your sound is good, my sound is good. I don't like wearing the headphones because it feels less authentic to me. But man, I would have known earlier if I had the headset on, like, oh, your mic's not working. I seen the bars not picking up, and I was like, why isn't it picking up? And then it spiked every now and then because my voice was picking up on you guys' mic. So I was like, oh, it's just a little low, so I need to speak louder. So I started speaking louder, and it was picking me up, but it was picking me up from the other mics. So I'm still learning. It's one of those things that I'm a student of the game, period. And that's kind of goes back to what I was saying when I first started coaching. I was coaching and I was like, I didn't want to teach anybody anything wrong. So I was like, don't do this because you're going to pay for it. As a 140-pound guy, if I messed up, I'm going to pay. And if I end up under a 240-pound guy, I'm not getting up. You know what I mean? Like, especially if he knows how to hold someone down and he knows the proper positioning and he knows like all that, I'm not getting up. And it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn how to not let people get me into those positions. And by not getting into those positions, it was very, very hard, or like learning how to stop people from putting you in those positions that they wanted you in. But once I did, I was like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. And I was coaching people in that style. Now I have to backtrack a little bit because I do things like my back escapes, like the way that I escape back, like the way that I escape that is not the way that most schools would teach you to escape back control. I go the opposite way, and most people are like, "No, don't go that way." And then like I was teaching it at another school, and one of the coaches was like, "Well, why are you going that way?" And I'm like, I found it easier for me to push my hip through this way or whatever. And like I explained my thought process, and this is just how I learned it, because most people teach go away from the choking hand, go away, and like I'm turning into it, and so that's one of those things where I teach do as I say, not as I do, right? And
I've had those moments escaping side control. A lot of times I'll just roll over because I don't like giving up mount, because I hate escaping with someone has me in mount. But I'll give up my back all day because I'd rather fight them to get off my back, because I feel fairly confident in fighting with someone on my back than them sitting on me in mount. Mm-hmm. So when I'm teaching them, like, guys, don't just turn away like you see me do all this time. Like, you want to face them. You never want to give up your back. And I give up my back all the time just because I don't want to give up the mount. I mean, I don't want to give up mount. I just rather give up my back. That's just something I do.
Yeah, I don't recommend doing that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I tell them don't do that, but you'll see me do it all the time. And of course, it depends on who I'm rolling with too. But if I'm in a situation I need to move, I can't just lay on bottom. So I'm going to move one way or the other.
Right, and I understand that. I understand that some people are just better at getting people off their backs. Like if you get on my back and you finish me with a choke from my back, like you work for it. Like it wasn't just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna finish here. Now I've had some guys like try to squeeze my head off and stuff. Like in training, and I'm just like, nah, I don't want my face sore, but in comp or whatever, it'd be different.
Right.
But yeah, so I get it. Like me, I'll pass with my elbow to the outside, with my elbow to the outside of my knee a lot, and that's like Camorra Central, Camorra City. But I do that. I do that because it's something that no one ever corrected early on. And I realized, like, oh, they're going to move and try to get my arm when I'm coming through this way. So I'm just ready for it, and I try to just beat them to the punch, so to speak, on that. And then when I teach it now, I'm like, hey, put your elbow, like, line it up with the knee and do this other thing. But that's just how it is, you know. Like, we all have our good habits, and we have our bad habits, and that's what I was trying to say to Taylor a minute ago, is like, that was my biggest thing. And early on, I was like, no. I didn't want to teach anybody wrong. So I was trying to stick with the stuff that I knew worked, and I knew, like for 100%, without a doubt, like, this is what I'm capable of doing, and I do it with this. And then it turned into, over the years, it's like, okay, I see guys get away with doing this all the time, and I've been telling people not to do it. Like, one of the first things I always taught people is, like, don't put your hands on the mat. Don't put your hands on the mat. Don't put your hands on the mat. But I teach them, don't put your hands on the mat from guard.
Right.
But then when you pass guard, it's okay. But I never sat down and, like, hey, you know, when you pass, you don't have to, like, keep your hands on them. You can touch the mat. It's okay.
I never
and
thought
that's just
about
one
that,
of those little things.
I don't know if I've ever made that mistake. I just naturally try to base out with my hands, but I've never thought of that. Did you see that problem a lot?
Yeah. I realized that some of my higher level guys, when they were settling, like, they were doing the white belt side control, where they were, like, cupping the shoulder and pulling them in, and they're like, oh, I can't ever let my hands touch the mat. And then I was like, I messed them up. Like, no. We're talking about just from guard, guys. And then, and there's times in guard where you have to post. Like, you have to. And it's not a good thing, but you have to, or you're going to get swept.
Right.
Post and come get your elbows back in and stuff. So there's times. But anyway, all this started, and we went down this rabbit hole because I was talking about Miss Taylor and her new class. And I wanted to ask her, because I know early on I was experiencing that self-doubt and, like, man, am I really good enough to teach? And then I only wanted to, like, I feel like I made the mistake of saying, you know, never do this, never do that, and speaking in definites instead of saying, I like to do this, here's why, and then here's the risk versus the reward. And some people aren't far enough along in their journey to know the difference between those two. I did back then, but I didn't want people doing stuff that was silly to your average person or whatever.
I think mine's going to be the opposite. I think if someone asks me a question, I'm going to be like, I don't know. Let me ask, like, and just, it's just a confidence thing, I guess, because I know that I have a game, and I know that I obviously do things, but I haven't thought about it in pieces like that. Like, what do I do here? What piece is here? What piece leads me here? And I'm kind of having to dissect what I do and break it down, and it's weird. It
is. Not everyone can coach, or say, like, can coach beginning, can coach, like, just jump in and coach, because it's a lot more different, and a lot more goes into it, teaching it, than actually doing it yourself. And it's nice having that safety net. When I first started teaching anything, kids class, and Jimmy gave me one, like, my own adult class, like, I asked, like, are you going to be here? Like, we talked about it for a week or two, like, are you going to be here? He said, I got your back. Like, I'll step in if you need me to. I'm like, okay, all right, man. Like, I wanted that safety net. Now, like, he can let me know 10 minutes before class. I'm like, yeah, I got it. I'll wing something. We'll figure it out.
We'll start class, and you're like, I don't know. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, let's
see where the spirit leads me.
And you'll get there too. So it's just like with training jiu-jitsu, you know, mat time, putting that time in. same thing as a coach. I feel like you put that in and you just go with it, and you can tell them, like, I can't tell you why it's wrong, but this is why I do it. Or, like, hey, let me get back to you. I'll check on that. I'll use that at work all the time. Like, I'll find out and get back with you. Like, that's a great answer. Like, let me check on that. I'll get back with you.
Jimmy told me to just be like, well, we're not doing that now. This is what we're doing. Don't worry about that yet.
You can do that. Yeah. I think it depends on what the question, like what rabbit hole they're going down. If it's something nice and quick, like, well, this is why. If it's something where you can, like, spend a whole nother class on it, like, no, we'll back up. That's too far. Let's come back, reel it in. And I just want to say, too, because you got me, like, self-conscious now. Like, no, I don't always give up my back. Like, and it depends on who I'm rolling with. Like, when I roll with you, I don't want to give you my back. I just want to say that. It's just certain people. And then also, I mean, that's how I'm going to get better at defending my back by letting people take it.
Agreed. And I do that, too. I give up my back. I would give up my back before I would give mount.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I would.
But I don't teach that.
But I don't give up my back, really, unless I really... So, not on purpose.
Well, I was going to say, I go turtle first, and then I have a set series of 3 or 4 moves or sweeps and attacks from turtle. Like, you're going to have to work to secure the back. Because I'll, like, go turtle, but I'm already thinking, what am I attacking you with from turtle?
Gotcha. Yeah, so for me, it's more so like I'm elbow and knee escaping, right?
Yeah.
But what I do usually is I'll turn and they'll try to turn, and that's when I'll turn back. So I don't actually give it up. But if some people cinch in and move, like they'll do a chair sit or something and end up on my back. But I would definitely rather, I don't know, I'm pretty good at mount escape. I'm pretty good at that, and I don't mind people being on my back either, which is odd thinking about it. I never really thought about it because it just depends on who I'm rolling with. I would never give certain people my back. I would fight tooth and nail for it, but then there's other people like that I would just be like, oh yeah, all right, we're here now. Let's fight out of this position, you know.
Well, I guess where my mindset is, who's carrying whose weight. If you're on my back, you're carrying my weight. I can push back into you until we pick a side. But in mount, I can get out of mount, but it takes a little bit more work because I'm dealing with, like, I'm carrying your weight now, and you're on my back. You're going to carry my weight. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess that's where my mindset is. Like, I'd rather you carry my weight than me carry your weight.
Yeah, and I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, it's not, like I said again, that goes to what we were talking about earlier. And like, I don't tell anybody they're wrong anymore. Like, when I first started coaching, I was like, no, you don't ever want to give up your back. No, you don't ever want to give up mount. Like, you don't ever want to. Yeah. But now it's kind of like, oh yeah, well, you developed a game around giving up your back and making
well, you
people
say
tired.
That now, like, I don't just like, here, take my back.
I mean, Bam Bam starts rolling with you, and he's just like flop over and give his back up. I mean, if that's what he wants to do, I mean, it's cool. I'm just playing. But no, I mean, I get it. Like, that's what I'm saying is, like, it's not wrong. It's like, it's your art. You do whatever you want to do. Like, I'm gonna do my best to keep you in front of me. I'm gonna do my best to keep you under me and carrying my weight if I'm trying to win. If I'm just playing the game, then I'll play guard. You know, I'll lay flat sometimes and let people pass and just go, I'm going to get them back to my guard, or I'm going to get the shortstop rubber guard and see if I can do something from there if I'm just playing. But if I'm being serious and I'm like, no, I want to really see what's up, then I am trying to wrestle to the top and be on top and make them carry my weight and make them uncomfortable, gain position, and then submit them. But if I'm playing a game, if I'm just like, whatever happens, I'll sit in front of you. I'll lay on my side in front of you. You know, like, put you in my guard, whatever. That's how you know I'm playing. If I sit down in front of you and I'm playing and doing whatever, like, I'll sit and be like, hey, come here. Sometimes when we're wrestling, I'll just push the face, push the head, and like turn corners and like see if you're going to shoot. I'm not really trying to be greedy and like snap you down or double leg you or fireman. You know, I'm not doing those things. It just depends on what my goals are and who I'm grappling with. So I get it. But I 100% avoid that "this is wrong, don't ever do this" phrase. That I didn't really say that in the beginning a whole lot. But I had a few rules, like always both elbows in and both elbows out. Never touch the mat.
Don't put your head in the snake pit.
Don't put your head in the snake pit. Never put your head in here until you do, right?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you do. And that's what the problem is. That's where it starts getting muddy or whatever. And that is what jiu-jitsu is about. And the more you coach, the more you realize, like, oh yeah, never go flat. Oh well, unless they're trying to darce you, then you go flat, like, and you sweep them, you hip in and like forward shrimp under or shovel your hips under and roll them or whatever. Like that is one of those times, right? Mm-hmm. So
that's gonna be one of those, Taylor. When you're coaching them and you go, I never go flat. A couple months later, all right, Darce. Now, if you want to escape this, you got to go flat. Whoa. Coach, you said never go flat.
Just kidding.
But wait, there's more. There's this one instance you want to go flat.
Mm-hmm. To kind of take a segue off on what you were talking about when you said that you're playing jiu-jitsu some and then sometimes you want to see what's up. How often do you play jiu-jitsu versus actually seeing what's up? Because I know that's something that I'm kind of struggling with now because I've been playing guard, I've been playing butterfly, playing triangle, that whole thing for months. But now it's like, okay, I don't want to play anymore. I want to roll. So how often do you trade off?
Me, never. I never see what's up anymore because I get in trouble. I put it on a 6-year-old kid today. He didn't want these problems. He didn't want these hands.
I think he's 8, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's 8.
Wait, or did you do it in Perry too?
Maybe. No, I'm just playing. But I don't roll hard anymore ever. But I think that's really good because I know who I can roll hard with. Like, if I wanted to roll hard, I could tell, like Steven, I could say, hey, I want to roll hard. I really want to try today. And he would let me. And he's good enough to like manage me and me not run somebody off or whatever. I know I'm saying that a lot, but like there's, for lack of better words, because it's like whatever, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where anybody and everybody can interpret it different ways. I know that I could roll with Jay hard. I could submit Jay every 30 seconds, and he'll come back smiling tomorrow, still wanting to train. I know that, without a doubt. I could roll as hard as I want to with Jay. I don't want to put Jay through that. I want Jay to have hard, difficult rolls so he's getting better. But I could. If I wanted to come in here and roll hard, I would choose Bam Bam or Jay. Maybe Zach, depending on how he's feeling. There's not very many other people in the gym here that I would just come in and like, maybe Gavin, that I would just hammer down. But I still have never really hammered down on any of those guys. I just rolled hard. So I think that you kind of should save that for comp. But you still need hard rounds to get ready for comp, in my opinion. So that drillers for killers class, like you need to push yourself till you're completely exhausted and then try to roll kind of hard. But you know who they are. You know the people that can take it. And you also need to check and see if they're in the mood that day. Like, you good today? Like, I kind of want to roll hard. And protect them from themselves, because some people are too tough for their own good, and then they'll end up pushing themselves to the point that they're not having fun anymore. We need to make sure that everyone's having fun and doing whatever. But like, you could roll hard as you wanted to with me, and that would be cool. You could find a main training partner, someone that you know that you can push that's close to your level so you can see what you're capable of. I know rolling hard with me is not the same as rolling hard with somebody at your same level. I know that. But you'll find the people that you can push, that you can just try to roll. Not without breaking each other. You know what I mean? Control chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess because I do play jiu-jitsu so much that it's like, okay, when do I try to roll hard? At what point? Is it once a week do I do it? Is it once a month? Like, when do I quit? Or when do I take a day to stop focusing on what I'm working on and actually grind, if that makes any sense?
It does make sense. How my mindset is for that question is I feel like I'm right in the middle with my game. Like, there's people that push me, and then I know I can push other people. So a lot of times I just let whoever I'm rolling with dictate. Like, I'm good with whatever at this point. Like, I'm happy where I'm at. I know I'm going to progress. It takes time. Like, I just feel good. So I'm just whoever I'm going with. If they start turning it up on me, I'm like, okay, they want to go a little bit harder. Let's do that. If it's someone that I know can smash me, and I feel them turn it up, like, okay, they're pushing me. Let me see if I can meet their expectations then, and I'll push it. Some of like our junior coaches or teenagers, I don't do it all the time, but once in a blue moon, like, I'll turn it up a little bit that way they can see how they react. Like, I just kind of go with the flow and just see, like how they're pushing me, and I just let them set the pace. And now we're just playing the game, having fun. If they turn it up on me, like, okay, that's what they want to do, I'll match their intensity. We'll do this. We'll play this game. I mean, because it's fun. Like, it's an art, and maybe that's just my personality too. Easygoing. Like, I just go with it.
Yeah, it seems to be your motto these days.
Yeah, it does. Well, I've been feeling pretty good. And then, like, say the ones that push me, like, I know I can take it. Like Coach Jimmy said, like, he's never full blown gone 100% with me, but he has pushed me, and he knows I've gotten comfortable being uncomfortable. So if they want to turn it up and push me, I can take it.
Right.
I mean,
makes sense.
So I mean, that's just where I'm at.
I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense. And I mean, we all go through all these different stages in this journey.
It's weird. It's weird for me right now because I don't know. I guess I still see myself as like this clumsy girl who stumbled in here, and I never thought that I was good at this ever because like all the new people that did show up were like bigger, stronger guys, and now we've got girls in here, and I'm like, oh, I do kind of know jiu-jitsu, but it's just an odd phase right now that I'm trying to figure out and work through.
Blue belt. Let's do some weird shit today.
That's how I feel. Like, let's just see what happens.
Hey.
We got a mini Bam Bam over here. But so yeah, I think that just for you guys that are in YouTube land or whatever, yeah, the stream's in and out. They're coming to fix our internet tomorrow. I called them right before. I called them right before we done this podcast. We probably should have waited.
Are we still live on YouTube?
Yes and no, because it says we're live, but it's loading. So I'm going to end that stream and just call it a night because we only have 8 viewers, and I'm just going to kill it. And we're going to make sure that our internet connection is better for the next time. And we'll just post this one on Spotify, and we'll re-upload this to YouTube. Yeah. And you guys can kind of see the process of us messing up, making mistakes, and learning how to do this. This is exactly how jiu-jitsu is, period. It teaches you to roll with the punches. It teaches you how to show up. Even when stuff's aggravating or frustrating, you're just kind of like, dang, okay, what do I need to do to make this better? And I think that that's what makes jiu-jitsu so unique and special is that it's one of the hardest things you ever do mentally in your entire life. So when you're dealing with stuff like this, it's just kind of like, which whatever. Yeah. And so anyway, So Coach Taylor's got a new women's class for you guys to come check out. Coach Bam Bam is trying to do some private lessons with kids and adults. He's trying to do a kids comp team. We're going to sit down Monday when we get back and decide the day that we're doing our kids competition and the weight classes and the skill levels. We're going to sit down Monday and try to figure out exactly when and where and what, when we're doing that. And I will definitely have this live stream stuff figured out. I will make a fake account and play with this thing until I know exactly how it works, so that we don't have this happen to us again, so you guys aren't tuning in and jumping off, because that sucks. I know how it is to try to watch a live stream and it keeps freezing or lagging. I absolutely hate people jumping in and out and they're like their internet not being well. I want to watch something, I'm trying to watch it. Back to what we were saying, and we're going to switch subject up after that, but kids comp, we are going to do a sub-only kids comp. I don't see anybody doing that. And it's going to be a small one. And it's going to be one of those things like where your kid, like when you want your kid to be a part of this, is like just know they're coming to compete. They're going to compete against some hammers. And that's what I want to turn it into. I want to give people a chance to let their kids actually test their jiu-jitsu, and not a little 5-minute or 3-minute who can hold each other down long enough for a few points. I want the kids to actually kind of start seeing what's up and like make this thing real, as close to the adults as possible. So that's what we have coming up. As far as coaching and stuff, and back to reiterate that, like, I don't think that I'll ever be able to look at the way that I coach and look at that stuff the same, because now I'm so deep into this. Like, I do stuff sometimes now because I know that what they're going to do, and I'm like, oh, I'm really good at defending this, or I'm really good at getting to my position and my spot if they try to do this. And it's funny because 10 years ago, there's things that I would just be like, I would never do this. And now I do that stuff. I'm playing a lot of shortstop. I'm allowing people to pass so that I could get my knee in and play shortstop, rubber guard. And I'm enjoying that position a lot.
I've been trying where I'm at here lately, twister side. I don't necessarily go twister or truck. Sometimes I go mount, or I try to look for an entry into saddle. But twister side, see how they react.
I gotcha. Well, it's just you go through phases.
Yeah.
You go through phases of stuff that you like doing. For a long time there, I just wanted to be able to stay on top. And then I got really, really, really good at staying on top. And then as for a while there, I just wanted to play guard. I just wanted to triangle people. I got really good at triangling people, and then was like, I'm going to go back to being on top. And I got really, really good at that. And I was like, okay, I got to figure out how to get to the back from here. I'm not good at taking people's backs. So then all I focused on was getting to people's backs. And now I'm like rolling people to their back, from diving guard passes to sitting backwards to flipping them over and taking their back. And it's playful now, you know?
Yeah. Taylor, you said you've been having fun, like, playing the art of jiu-jitsu and different games. Is there one that you found that you like the best or having fun with here lately?
I think my favorite one right now is going triangle from rubber guard, because I started doing it a lot, and this is terrible, but I'm really bad at rubber guard. So I haven't figured out the weight on the shoulder.
I have a hard time with that.
So they're always posturing up, and I know that that's going to happen because my rubber guard is trash. But I get there and I'll grab their wrist, and we actually done something similar to this at the Boogeyman seminar.
I know what you're talking about.
And I'll grab their wrist and they're like, oh, I'm out of here. And I'll just snake my foot up. Like my knee will go to their armpit and then just, as they slide up, it's an easy transition. And it's so funny because every time I go to do it, and I have one girl that I train with a lot, she sees it coming now and she'll go, no, not the foot, not today. And that one's probably my favorite. And I've tried to stop doing it a little bit and piddle with some other stuff. But I don't know. I've really just been doing triangles a lot. Triangle arm bar. That's actually how I broke my toe Friday.
Triangles are everywhere.
Yes. That was, I was attempting a mounted triangle. Wasn't going to get it. The guy that was on his back, he went, baby bridges do work. Wasn't going to get the mounted triangle. And so I was like, well, I'll just transition to an arm bar. Not today, sucker. I went to transition and he rolled. It was just a freak accident. And then, my big toe snapped like a twig.
Ow.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing, sir?
So you just said triangles are everywhere. Today in class, I was teaching short stop to flying kung fu, pretty much. And one of the kids, I was showing meat hook sweep. I was showing Carney, just that little series there. And one of the kids said, can you triangle there? And I was like, yeah. When they post, you just slip your leg through and switch your hips.
Triangle anywhere.
And, wow. I was just saying, Coach Bam Bam says all the time, you can triangle from anywhere. I said, yeah. All right, let me take your back. I want you to triangle me. And I was like, I'm going to tell Coach Bam Bam. And that's when she said that a minute ago, I kind of laughed because that happened tonight.
You can darce someone with them on your back.
You can. I've witnessed that, which blows my mind. So it's funny. Like a front darce farce.
We talking about triangles are everywhere. I was rolling with Jay last night, and I like rolling with him. I'll try stupid shit because he's gonna react some type of way that no one else is gonna react, and we do just end up weird positions, and we'll catch weird submissions. And he hit a triangle from a different position, and I'm like, man, I didn't even think about triangle. I thought you were gonna go here, He goes, man, you're the one that told me triangles are everywhere. Why wouldn't I go triangle? I'm like, you're correct, sir. Like, touche. Makes sense.
Touche. But yeah, that happened today in class. So Caitlin's got one from you. She's going to be like, hey, Coach Bam Bam, show me a triangle from the back. Not with you on the back, with them on your back.
And I'm going to find a loophole and find like an arm triangle. Like, what now? What now?
A triangle's a triangle.
That's a triangle. You didn't specify with the legs.
This is true. So,
tell you what, you could hook, get their hook, scoot forward, roll backwards, and catch a triangle.
That's what I was going to say. I literally was like, he's going to like slide down and do a backwards roll into a triangle. And
still a triangle.
and then he said it. That's hilarious. So
because you're my coach. Is that not what you would have done probably?
No, I'd have just been like, it'd be harder to triangle with somebody from here.
But someone's calling you, now you're gonna make a point.
Oh yeah. I'd be like, yeah, maybe. So sorry, I'm trying to get used to these buttons here. And there's been several times Taylor's over here like messing with her hair and like looking down.
And I start talking,
and you start talking, and I'll try to go to you, and then I go to her, and she's over here just like not even paying attention. So there's several minute clips, not minute, but second.
You do it pretty quickly.
Second, clips where she's just like staring off into space. Guys, it's going to get better. Like, it will get better. But so we're going to a seminar this weekend.
Yes.
I have no idea who all is coaching. I know Brandon McCathron's going to be there. Gio's going to be there.
Nathan Orchard.
I did
Boogie.
that, and Boogie. I knew Boogie was coming. I knew Brandon was coming.
I think it's just those four.
I didn't know Gio. Didn't know Orchard was coming until today when Zach was talking about it. And like I had paid for it months ago.
Yeah.
And I was like I was just gonna go and like learn some cool stuff, and then I'm like, oh, all these other guys are coming, so it's pretty cool.
I was messaging Zach about it, and he started saying, I want to see this from this one, this from this one. Like Dream Weekend, he goes, like, get some more rubber guard stuff from Boogie. Let's get some Dead Orchard from Nathan. If Brandon McCatherine does like some mounted triangle, I'm like, dude, that would be amazing, because I've been seeing mounted triangles, but I have a hard time, like I see them, like, just hitting that transition and then the finish. I'm like, that would make my day.
So I don't want to see mounted triangle from Brandon. I'm pretty good at finishing those, and I have my own ways of like sliding.
You're not
hips
the only
down.
one that's going to be there, sir.
I know, but
That was such a self-centered, like, well, I don't want to see it.
No. From Brandon, I want to see punch chokes. That's where I was going with it. I wasn't saying, oh, well, I
Who
don't
said
want to
punch
see that.
chokes are fake? Someone said that.
Yeah, I say it all the time. I say punch chokes are fake. Coach Stevens says it all the time. I say it all the time because it's true. Like, to me, I'm like, yeah, you could finish me with a punch choke. Obviously, you could finish me with a punch choke, but it's hard. Like, I'm gonna like wiggle and move the hands in. Like, you're gonna have some work, but apparently, Brandon's punch choke is off the chain, and it's like really, really, really good, and it'll turn into a Darce if you roll your hand a certain way. And I just want to learn his punch choke stuff. And I want to be able to finish people with punch chokes.
Did you hear
I have had people in full-blown punch chokes, and they're like, nah. So that's what I want. I want to have a sick punch choke game. And I want to punch choke Stephen Aiken. That's what I want to do with my life. Yep.
hear about Jocko's punch choke? He told a story about the guy, the neck bone he broke. He broke the guy's neck with a punch choke. Have you heard this story?
No.
He had a punch choke. It was someone brand new, first day. It was one of his buddies, like, just said, like, Jocko has showed him, like, some of the basics, and then the guy's like, well, can we, like, nice about it, you know, like, hey, can we roll a little bit? Jocko's like, sure. Didn't go over tapping. He threw a punch choke, but punch choke, he had a fist and put it directly on his trach.
Oh, yeah.
But then he put his chest here, so that's how he finishes it with his weight.
Yeah.
And the guy
didn't tap.
Well, not just that. He said he did a walk back move and hugged Jocko, thinking, for some reason, I'm going to hold him close to me because that will protect me. And since Jocko's pushing down, it just made it tighter. And something broke.
Yeah, I was teaching my guillotine that I do. And Dale broke Mr. Mel's.
I remember this.
I forget what those bones are called or what they're called right here.
Starts with an H. I don't remember.
Yeah, but he broke those, and he, like, that day he was like,
Well, this guy
and then he was like having trouble. Like,
Yeah.
it just felt like, he said he felt like he had like a something lodged in his throat, like a cough drop or something was like stuck in his throat.
I want to say it was the same exact scenario story, Jocko's friend, and he ended up going to a doctor like a little while later. And it's like, sir, did you got like a broke bone or something? And his friend's like, oh, yeah, I know how I got that. That makes sense now. Because he didn't know it at the time. He just knows it hurts.
Right. That's funny. I know Mel come in and he's like, yeah, that little thing right here. That's why it feels like there's something in my throat. It's broken. It's like, so we're not doing chokes today. And I'm like, you still training? He was like, yeah, just don't choke me. And I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. Let's just tell people not to choke us while we're doing jiu-jitsu. Like, hey, no, don't choke me. Do arm locks.
Stop.
Leg locks.
No, don't touch me there. This is my safety square.
No square. No square.
So, you can tell you what. You're the one that said that, and I was telling a friend that, and I changed it to no square. And they corrected me and said, no, it's safety square. So I'm not the only one that says safety square. I actually changed it because of you to no square. And then they called me. I did it to the one person that says safety square like me.
Well,
I'm going to be honest with you. I've never heard it either way, but safety square is like my bubble.
That's what it is.
My space.
That's what it is.
no square
Is your no-no
is
square.
Like this is a special.
area, the special place.
Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. That's why you say no-no.
Safety square is a bubble though. Like you're in my bubble.
But they can be in your bubble without touching you.
If you're in my bubble, I feel threatened. I was always told in school, they're talking about like the safety bubble. If someone enters your personal bubble, it's the same as assault. You can defend yourself.
I don't believe that. Like, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all.
I didn't say I
like,
believed it. I'm just saying that's what they told us in school.
They told you that in school?
This was like middle school, yes. I remember this.
Oh, wow.
This happened.
Like, we were told, like, it's tail. Like, tail.
This was like a call for
Like-
someone that had come and did like a presentation. And it's like, if they're in your bubbles and you feel threatened, that's the same as assault. Like, call the cops.
I'm making it a habit now to just pan over to her when I see her doing something crazy. It's just going to be like a regular thing on the podcast.
Train.
Like, yeah, like the train, because she's just going to be like,
Oh, so you edit these videos?
yes,
right?
I do. Yes, I do.
So what you should do is like roll credits at the end or something, or you're signing off. Like behind the credits, it's like bloopers. Just have her cut out all the things when she's doing something crazy. Or any of us. Like, because you have all of us on camera, even though you don't have us selected.
Yeah.
You can just see when we're doing something crazy and just put that in the background.
Look, y'all are going to stop picking on me. I pay attention.
I said all of us.
I pay attention, but sometimes I'm like, this doesn't involve me. So I'm just
I do
going to
that
look
too.
around. Like the seminar, y'all are talking about the seminar, and I'm just like,
Yeah, I'd be a little salty about that too.
Bro, she's so salty.
I am.
She is so salty. I asked
because
her.
everybody's going.
But
I asked her.
But
There's a but.
there is like silver lining. Could you really do it anyway? You have a broke toe.
Oh, I do it.
Y'all
Look how serious. Look how serious she
y'all
looks.
didn't see the way she just looked at me like, I'll do it.
Okay, but for everyone's reference, when I said, no, I don't have to go, Jimmy and I were talking, and I said, you and Bam Bam should go. Y'all are our coaches. You guys go. You just have to video it and teach me everything.
This is true. I remember this.
That's what happened. And now everybody's going, and I'm stuck here all alone.
Everyone's not going. Just
Yeah.
4 of us. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
All I'm saying is that it was supposed to be a me and Bam Bam thing.
Yeah.
And then Zach was like, I'm going. And then Jay was like, well, I'm going. That didn't have anything to do with you and I, because we didn't even know they were going until
They told us.
they told us they were going.
After they had already paid.
No, he paid for Jay.
I paid for Jay.
I mean, Jay paid him back,
Jay,
but he
yeah,
paid for Jay.
He messaged me.
I didn't know Church or everyone had paid.
Yeah, well, Jay messaged me. He was like, hey, can you Cash App Brian the money? And I was like, for what? And he's like, I want to go to the seminar. And I was like, oh, cool. Me and Bam Bam are going. He's like, yeah, I know. Zach's already paid, and I want to go. And I was like, oh, okay. So,
And then like the next week, Zach's like, I got our B&B.
yeah, and then Zach told me that, and I was like, oh, cool. I didn't know any of that. I didn't know that they were planning on going. Which it should have been obvious that Zach was going to go, because Orchard is like Zach's guy.
Yeah.
Zach has been looking forward to learning from him. Like, he follows him. He does. I didn't even know who the dude was. And he's like, how do you not know who that was? I was like, I didn't know who Gio was until Coach told me. I knew Richie. And I was like, I don't follow these guys. I don't follow jiu-jitsu like that. Like, I probably should start. There was a combat jiu-jitsu this weekend, and I didn't even watch it. And I should, because I love learning.
Right.
But when I've turned around and made my entire life about it, it's like when I'm not inside the school or I'm not at my coach's actually learning, I don't want to do jiu-jitsu. I want to do other things like this podcast or my stream or whatever, because that is how I get away from work. But I think I would enjoy watching some guys that I actually knew grapple.
Yeah.
And I don't enjoy watching two guys that I don't know, because then it's kind of like I will put it on and let it be in the background, but it's like, oh, who's going to win? Oh, well, I like this guy's technique. I like what he's doing.
Yeah.
But that's not one of the things that I would.
I don't watch it as much as Zach does. Like, I think I might know some names a little bit more than you, but not as much as Zach. Like, I don't follow it as religiously as he does. Like, I know certain names, and a lot of names that I follow, like on Instagram, it's just something I just happen to come across. Or someone mentioned, like, hey, check this one guy out. Like, I know one of my favorites is I love watching Kent Peters, his Zombie Proof. Like, I just like his stuff.
Taylor likes watching some of the girls that do like the Instagram videos and stuff, and I'm like, man, that's cool. Like that's stuff that you guys should do, because you guys have stuff that the world don't know about, and like it's still new to them. Like we.
That's what I heard. That's what I'm like. What?
Look at the
Us?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it's fun, and I promise you.
Show that no one knows.
Well, it's not that no one knows. How many people you think knows Kent Peters stuff? How many people?
Mm-hmm.
Probably a lot.
I say I watch it. I didn't say I implement a lot of it.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of there's a lot of people that know how to do a triangle. But look at how many people show their variation of triangles. I know that my triangle's different. I know I do triangles different. There's not a lot of people that do triangles the way that I do triangles.
I know you're talking about some of the ones Taylor follows. She showed me this one girl. I don't know what the hell she did. Like, it was crazy.
I went to Taylor just then by accident, and she was like,
I hope he doesn't ask me for a name. I don't know any other name.
I don't know the name, but you might remember the move. I think it was when I was really on. I was on omoplatas, and then I started working leg locks, and it was like a toe hold. And so she did something to a toe hold, and you were like, look at this. I can't remember. It was something wild. It was crazy.
I remember, but I don't remember.
You remember showing me, though, and it was something with a toe hold.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
I started calling Bam Bam Instagram for a little while there. Because that dude would come in and like, look, I seen this on Instagram.
I would.
Dude, you need to get off Instagram, bro.
Hey, you have to admit, one time I showed you something, you're like, yeah, I used to do that. You know what? We're going to do class over. We did class over that move that night after I showed it to you on Instagram.
Yeah, because I remembered it, and it was a move that I used to do.
But I'm just saying, where did I see it first? Instagram. You didn't remember it. So I'm just saying, we did a whole class over something I saw on Instagram. Why are you knocking me?
Because you're just a king of Instagram videos. I think all he does is just follow people who do jiu-jitsu, and he scrolls through, and he's like, yeah, let's see if Coach knows this one. And then he's like, hey, let me show you this.
Not necessarily. I have done that Coach Steven too.
Dude.
It was something. It was like an armbar escape, and they use like the buggy choker fly trap, like getting the leg in, like to escape armbar. But I wasn't the only one. It was like half the class, because it had just been posted. So half the class was like Coach Steven. He goes, "This many of y'all talking about it? Y'all got to show me. Like, what are y'all talking about?" So we pulled it up and showed them like this.
Everyone's trying to hit the move from Instagram. I've tried it a couple of times, and it never works out the way that they do it on the videos.
I couldn't tell you how many videos I have saved.
I know.
I did find I ain't gonna lie, I saw it on Instagram. It might have been Kent Peters actually, but it was a good mounted triangle entry from Side Control 1. Look, really, I'm gonna start playing with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Still on camera as I drink my water.
You was.
Yeah. Smart Water's going to sponsor us eventually. I always have one.
Dude.
Oh.
We all do.
There's mine.
There's mine.
Yeah. It's funny to me, though, when you learn something new or you see something, you'll say, Coach, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, shit. Instagram. God damn.
Not always. Sometimes I just go down a rabbit hole in class.
Sometimes it's pretty cool stuff, though. I'm like, wait, show me? All right, cool. We'll try it. See how this plays out.
I think I remember the move now. Actually, I think it was from armbar where you could reach your arm through your leg and secured the choke.
Oh yeah,
I think that's what it was.
that is.
We've done that one in class.
Yes.
Yeah, but we done that one in class before that day. Before.
No.
No.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
No.
Yes.
I don't
yes,
remember
we
that.
have.
No recollection.
We
We
have.
need a camera going. Choo, 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 choo.
Yeah, we have, and it's on me, so I win. Camera's on me.
They can still hear me.
Yes,
Oh,
they
and
can.
No one just saw my fun little hand dance.
No, here.
No,
there.
no, it's okay.
There's your hand
It's
dance.
okay.
You
It's
need.
okay.
She said we need a
No,
camera
no.
going.
We don't need the camera going.
Show- let
It's
me
okay. You're
see.
making my face red. No, leave me alone.
She's moving her hands back and forth, going. We need the cameras on, going. But and anyway, no, we have done that before though, because it's a step out, grab, leg curl, and then or leg stretch, depending on the one that you're trying to finish. But we have done that in class before.
I remember doing the one before where it's the one Ayla does.
Yawning. That was so rude.
Every time.
I was yawning. That was rude.
It's the one Ayla does where she actually reaches under with her outside hand and grabs her own leg and kicks it. I remember going over that one. I didn't remember going over the one I'm talking about until I asked you about it.
Yeah, well, it was one of those things that we used to. I used to do a lot of stuff that I do not do, or that I've just plain forgot about.
Well, I mean, how long have you been training? There's going to be things that...
But it's funny because like you'll see it, and then everybody acts like it's some brand new thing, and then you're like, oh yeah, I remember that, or oh yeah, like American people would like it's like a scissor choke with your hands, like gabling behind the neck and then scissoring your legs.
Baseball bat choke?
No, like a TP choke, and stuff, and like that's making a comeback. Back in Brandon McCatherine was talking about this today. Like fly trap was super big at one point, and now it's buggy chokes, and it's like they're so close together.
I still don't know the difference. I really don't.
But they're so close together. Of like it's like one is leg over, like arm under,
The way I
inside,
understood
arm on the outside, like of the leg, and it's like one's a lat choke and one's a
like a ghost triangle type deal.
Yeah.
Kinda.
yeah, and it's basically in the same family. It's like it works until you've been caught in it a couple of times and you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Like I would let people cinch that up and just like get a big chest and like put my hands on the mat and just kind of ridge into it and to see if like, oh, are you gonna get the finish or are you
I
gonna?
actually had to do that with Jay. He caught me in one of them again. I don't know which one. Like I've watched videos. Like which one is this one? Which one is this one? Get it. Like okay, I know it. Wake up next day. I don't know it again. I don't know which one's which. But he got me in one, and I did what you said, like big chest, trying to like keep him from like cinching it up.
Yeah, did it work?
It did.
Yeah. It's like once you know, you know.
Yeah, like I felt it, and I felt him, digging for his leg and getting the hook, and it was tight. He just didn't have it locked up, and I got big, and it was just had to weasel out because it was there.
Yeah. Like I said, once you know, and then it's one of those things like, yeah, somebody that's really good at it probably could finish you still.
Oh, if they threw it fast, yeah, because this was a slow burn.
Yeah.
I just knew it was there, and it was getting taut.
That makes sense. And like I said, it's somebody that knows what's up or that's high level. They could probably finish it there. But anyway, for me, I like stuff like that. I like the fads or the trends or whatever because it makes jiu-jitsu good and it gets people hyped about what we're doing. It gets people hyped about training. It's something that I just show up and do. And I enjoy going to this seminar. I get to be in a deep room. I don't really know these guys. Like I've trained in a room with Boogie. I've rolled with Boogie. I've trained with Brandon. I've been in a room with Brandon. I met Brandon on a trip. We were with Alan Belcher. I met Ben Askren, Alan Belcher. I didn't talk to Ben because at the time Ben was like undefeated and he was like the man. Like to me, I don't get starstruck. I'm just like whoever it is, like cool. I knew who Ben was. And I was like, Ben's one of the best dudes ever. I was like, hey, Ben. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But with Alan and everybody else, I just talked to them like normal people and stuff. And I didn't realize who Brandon was until after I left. I done sat down and ate dinner with him, sat at the table with him, talked to him. Mike Stewart, like I'm sitting down eating with all these guys that are running these really successful gyms, and then come to find out, like, oh, Johnny Buck running a successful gym, Brandon, a black belt under Eddie, like. And I didn't even realize who they were until
So you probably know
later.
Like I was talking about, I follow a lot of them and don't know them as good as Zach. You know them better than me. You just
I just don't know that I know them.
Yeah.
And but that's what I'm saying. But I enjoy getting into this deep room and learning jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I remember the person that taught it to me. So, like, when Brandon shows something, I'm like, oh, okay. Now, you know?
Yeah. Should be getting close to the end of this. How long we been on?
I don't know, honestly, because it's set up different today. Today is set up a little different because I was trying to do a live broadcast.
Yeah.
And I want to start doing live because people comment. We already had like 3 comments before it messed up the first time. But then when we redone it, people are like, oh, it's trash, and they quit. They wasn't commenting and stuff. So
I got you. Well, I know we've been at least an hour, a little bit over.
yeah, it's probably been about an hour and a half, an hour, something like that. So we'll get out of here. We'll save some for next time. We'll talk about the seminar when we come back. I will have this thing worked out by next Thursday for sure. I'm gonna play with it. I'm just gonna get up, come in here, play with it, mess with the settings, and just kind of do some research and figure out what we need to do to make this thing better, because I want to give a good show for you guys. You got anything you want to close with, Taylor?
I don't think so.
Well, congratulations on your coaching position. It's super cool to have you as a part of our team. And I'm telling you right now, you do like the things that you're doing around the world and the stuff like that. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just go out there, have some fun, and teach them the basics. Teach them the stuff that you know. And, hey, if you don't know the answer, be honest and say, I don't know the answer. And doing that makes you look like a better leader and better at what you do. So that's the biggest thing that I could say as far as coaching for me, and what got me through is I never pretended to be somebody I wasn't. I just show up. If I knew the answer, I might give them a brief one, but I try to keep them on task, keep them on what I'm doing. If they ask a question like, what if, I hate those questions, and I'm like, yeah, there's always a what if. Right now, let's focus on this thing, this particular reaction, and we'll get into the other reactions later when we revisit, or we'll build on it throughout this month, and you'll get to see. So be patient. And I would definitely say and recommend that as a new coach. That's what I would recommend to you. But yeah, it's really cool that you're doing that. And I'm definitely looking forward to having a lot of women training here at TECT. I have people message me regularly asking me how we got so many women in our school. And I tell them it's because of you.
Oh, it was work. It's been a lot of hard work, but it's great. I love it.
Yeah. And it's true. I do get messaged a lot and people wanting to grow women. And I'm like, look, you just gotta get one to stay that can be a people person, that understands like the gym culture is more important than their personal feelings, because not everybody's personalities click. And like, you gotta look past that and just say, hey, we want a bunch of women in here, so we gotta look past like all this cattiness or whatever you want to call it.
Well, as Xander says, everyone just needs a Miss Taylor.
Hey, he did say that today. He said that today.
That's
awesome.
His mom was like, no, you got to go to college and learn how to run a business, because he wants to take over Tech Center when he gets older, is what he said. And he's like, I don't need to go to college. I'll just get a Miss Taylor.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a Miss Taylor.
That's awesome.
It was great. It made my day.
Anyway, I'm gonna let you close, Bam. Like, what are your words of advice about becoming a coach?
Well, why you put me on the spot?
Oh, that was the look. See, you
Yeah.
have the wide-eyed look too.
I did. Put me on the spot. Words of advice becoming a coach. Okay. Well, so I guess having someone that you can emulate, like someone, whether like if you're starting from scratch, like look at other coaches and how they do it, what you like that they do, what you don't like that they do. Me, I coach like you because you're my coach, so I emulate a lot from you. I get it, I understand it. It's the way I learned, so that's the way I try to coach. And then also just piggyback on what you said, like you don't ever want someone to just start making something up. Like you ask them a question and then they just start rambling. They don't know what they're talking about. They just make stuff up because they think they're supposed to have an answer. It is completely acceptable to not know something. Like, and I think that's the signs of a great leader when you can admit that you're wrong or you don't know. I go back to, like I said, like, I don't know, but I will find out. Like, you're willing, like, do the work. Like, hey, I don't know. Let me get back to you. I will find out and get you the answer. And I think that makes a great leader / coach.
Yes.
I like it.
Well, guys, that's Tech Talk with Mr. Bam Bam and Miss Taylor. And I about messed that up again with the buttons. So I told her before I started this thing that I wanted her on button 2 and him on button 3, but I swapped the HDMIs over. But now if I swap them, next time I'll make the same mistake. So I'll just get used to that being camera 3 and this camera 2. Anyway, man, I hope you guys have an amazing week, blessed day. We're going to get this thing worked out. Stick with us, and I hope you guys continue listening to Tech Talk here at Tech Center. Peace.